have my Best of Beauty 2013, and this is going to be all about eyes. I've split these videos up into 3 different parts, one for face, cheeks, and lips, one for eyes, and one for randoms. I'm not sure which order they're all going to be going up, so I will link them down below whenever they're all available, so just know that there's more to this series. And this one's all about eyes. So I'm doing this as a collab with my friend Trisha from AGlitteryLife. I love Trisha and her channel. She's one of my favorite people on YouTube, one of my sweet, sweet friends. We've done a collab together before, and we thought it would be fun to do this one together because we're both eyeshadow junkies and love eye products. Anything to do with eyes, we love it. So I will link her channel and her video down below, so after you watch mine, don't forget to go check out hers and see what her favorites are. I know you're gonna love them and love her. So yeah, I've got a ton of different things to share with you, so let's jump right on in. For eyeshadow primer, you guys totally get the credit for this. You suggested it and I love it. It is the Wet n Wild Fergie Take on the Day eyeshadow primer. This is so good, and I think it's like $4 or $5 from the drugstore, and it's just great. I've tried the Urban Decay Primer Potion, the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and others, and I like them, but this works better and it's way cheaper. I feel like it's not as silicone-y and slick. It's slightly more sticky, like it really grabs the eyeshadows, but not to the extreme that it's going to make them crease, you know, from being too sticky. So it's just great, easily available at the drugstore. You can find it. I just love it. So if you've never tried this, give it a go. It is a great primer. For bases, I have 2 favorites. So this first one is kind of a primer slash base, but I use it as a base. And it is the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. And it's just this nice kind of flesh toned base. And what I do with this is I apply my Fergie eyeshadow primer, and then I apply this to the top half of my lids. So if you've ever seen any of my tutorials, almost every single time I use this on the upper half of my lid at least, because it cancels out discoloration and just helps the shadows stay even better and helps them stick more. So I love this. And then I also love the Maybelline color tattoos. The metals are some of my very, very favorites, but I own so many different colors of these and they're just good. So this first one is Barely Branded, and it's just a nice kind of neutrally creamy color. This one is Inked in Pink. It's a nice pinky color. Bad to the Bronze is a really nice bronzy shade. I just pretty much, literally, like every single day I'm wearing a base, and these are some of the ones that I grab the most often. I just really, really like them. I don't wear them by themselves because I feel like they crease. They don't last very well on my eyes, but with a primer, they're great. I love them. For single eyeshadows, I grabbed 3 different kinds because I can't go with just one. I'm sorry, I tried to, but 3 is good for me. So the first favorites would be the Loreal Infallible eyeshadows. These are really, really good. They're from the drugstore. They're, I think, around $8 or $9, so they're not the cheapest, but they're just beautifully pigmented, so metallic, so creamy. They take so little to use, so, you know, while it is $8 or $9, which is pricey for the drugstore, well, drugstore is getting more expensive, but while it isn't the cheapest, you have so much product. This is going to last you forever, and they're just gorgeous. I mean, this one is Amber Rush, and look at that. Oh my gosh, such a beautiful finish. Love those. Next would be the Sephora Outrageous Prismachrome eyeshadows. I just loved these. These were a big talk on YouTube. A bunch of people were talking about them. This one is Outrageous Metallic Beige, and this was by far my favorite. I would just kind of take this one and apply it to the center of my lids with a bunch of different looks. I just love it. These are so good, so creamy. You can apply them wet and dry. Pretty much, I think they're still on clearance at Sephora. I'm really honestly not sure. They put them on clearance, but they're still some of my very favorites, and I think they're great quality. And then also the MAC Pressed Pigments. I've talked about these before. I love these things. They are just the most beautiful, shiny, gorgeous glittery shadows, and I apply them over other things and they just work. They are just so beautiful, and you can apply them wet or dry, and I think they're just great. They're some of my very favorite products from MAC, and I own, I think, 5 different shades, and I just I love them all and I could take more. The first one I showed you, that brown one, was Deeply Dashing, and this one, the blackish kind of gunmetal color, is Jet Couture, and they're just gorgeous. If you've never tried them, I love them. My small palette favorite for the year is the Physicians Formula Matte Collection Quad in Canyon Classics. Any of these quads are such great quality. They are just beautifully pigmented. They blend beautifully. They're just great, great shadows, and they're from the drugstore, and because they're matte, I mean, they're just like great for pairing with other things, and I mean, they are the same quality as expensive brands. I mean, I think they are great. There's no complaint I can think of with this quad. It is so, so good. I just recently found the other two, and I can't remember what they're called now, but this one I had, you know, all year, and I did grab for it a lot. And especially if I wanted to do like a drugstore tutorial or anything like that, these are stellar. I think this is a great quad to get. Just a great small palette to have in your collection, because you've got shades that are gonna just blend nicely, and that one's gonna be great for a highlight. It's just a great staple palette. Awesome. Okay, for my favorite eyeshadow palettes this year, you guys know this is going to be difficult for me because I love eyeshadow palettes. It's my makeup weakness. I have quite a few. But I would say when I thought about this, I thought of which palettes like knocked my socks off, and every time I grabbed for them, I just fell back in love with them. And it would be my Too Faced Pretty Rebel palette and my Laura Mercier Artist palette. Both of these are so good. So, so good. The Pretty Rebel palette is just like adorable packaging, and it's a great collection of brights and neutrals. I talked about it a ton on my channel. And then also the Laura Mercier Artist palette. This is just so good, so creamy. They blend beautifully. I used this again towards the end of the year and just fell back in love with it. It is just incredible. The collection of colors, it's very neutral, but it's still just so like, it can be like bright and airy in daytime, but also dark and sultry and smoky. Oh, I just love it. Both of these are so good and just some of my very favorite palettes in my entire collection. Okay, two eyeliner favorites. This first one was a later in the year favorite, but I love it so much, and it's one of my holy grails now. I have to mention it. It's the Marc Jacobs Highliner something something, long name, I don't know. And this is in the black one. It is so good. It's a retractable, I think is what you call it. You don't have to sharpen it, however you say that. It's a non-sharpenable, sharpenable, yeah, non-sharpenable eyeliner, and it's just great. It lasts in the waterline like crazy. And I've tried a lot of eyeliners. They either bleed everywhere or they irritate my eyes. But this one, nope, so good, doesn't bother my eyes. It's ridiculously expensive at $25 for an eyeliner. Ridiculous. But it's so good, I'll keep purchasing it. I just love it. It is such a good eyeliner. And then for my upper lash line, I really, really love this one. It's a later in the year favorite, but it's just so good, it's a favorite. It's the Loreal Infallible Blackbuster Liquid Eyeliner. And I don't know that this is like, it doesn't say waterproof, but it lasts really well. It's a thick, fat pen, but I can still do a thin line, still get my wing. It's just so easy to use because it's a felt tip. And I don't mind that it's big and fat like this. It's easy to use, so I really, really like it. Like I said, it's not waterproof, so it doesn't say it is, at least. So it's not gonna last through like a sad movie or a wedding where I'm like bawling my eyes out or something. But the normal wear and tear regular day, it's gonna last and it's gonna work and it's easy to use. So I found that I just kept grabbing for it. Ever since I purchased it a couple months ago or something, I've just worn it a ton, so it's definitely one of my favorites. And then for brows, I found that I kept going back to this. This is the Ben Nye Pressed Eyeshadow in Taupe. So it's an eyeshadow, but it works for brows. I feel like the color works really well. It's not too reddish, so I feel like the color works really well. And it's long wearing. I can build it up in different areas, but I can also sheer it out in other areas. So I haven't found like the miracle brow scenario, but I feel like for me, this works just fine. So I really, really like this product. It's like $10 for this eyeshadow, so I'm a fan. This is what I use for my brows and I'm happy with it. And then finally for mascara, I have to go with my CoverGirl Lash Blast Clump Crusher. I love this one, and I also love the regular Lash Blast. That's the orange one. I don't have one of those right now, so that's why I'm showing you this one. I kind of alternate between the two of those, but they're both just great mascaras. They are a drier formula, so I apply a bunch of different coats to get them looking like I want them to, but they build nicely. They don't get clumpy and gross, but number one reason I love them is that they don't get up on my eyelid and get goopy weird. You know, like other mascaras, pretty much everything else I've tried goops up on my eyelid and just looks gross. By the end of the day, it just looks nasty. And these don't do that. And I don't like waterproof. So this is an option for me that I can still get a long wearing mascara that's not going to goop everywhere, but not have the nightmare of trying to get waterproof mascara off and feeling like, I said this in my very first video, feeling like I have trees for eyelashes because they're so stiff and weird feeling from waterproof mascara. So I really love these. Okay guys, so that was my Best of Beauty 2013 Eyes edition. So I hope that you really enjoyed this. Like I said, I will link the other videos, the face, cheeks, lips, and also the randoms down below once they're available. I will also link Trisha's video and her channel down below, so don't forget to go check hers out. I hope that you enjoyed this. Please give it a thumbs up if you did and let me know your favorites for the year. I want to hear what kind of eye products you were loving in 2013. Share that with me down below. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!